Hopefully we go through this. Maybe I shouldn't say hopefully. But we started a little late, so we're going to move a little fast so we're not here all night. And the topic for the day is the two tests. We're going to talk about two particular tests. And preferably by the end of the lesson, everybody will be able to identify these two tests. They'll be able to pass one and administer the other. I don't like that transition, but we're going to roll with it. The Hebrew,
I think that's the one we said.
yeah, it's slow. I was like, man, it take a long time for a slide to change. But Hebrew word that we're going to single out and identify today is test. And it's pronounced Nassau. Nassau, almost like NASA. Nassau. And in the King James Version, you probably won't see it at all, the word test. You may see tests, plural, tested, or testing. But when it comes to test, it will be proved. So as you see Strong's number 52, 5254, test, to prove, tempt, assay, adventure, try. So you try. When you hear someone talk about a little kid and they say that little kid trying me, it's saying he's testing me. But a test, to prove one is deserved of being lifted up. Anybody got any ideas on what test we're going to identify? Come on, somebody. Throw some out there. Is there some tests in the Bible that you can just think of?
Faith. Test of faith.
Yeah, faith is just trying to turn away from
Enduring.
Enduring? It is going to be Deuteronomy 13, 1 through 5. We talking specific tests.
All right, Deuteronomy 13, 1 through 5. It says, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto you, saying, let us go after other gods, which you have not known, and let us serve them. You shall not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahuwah, your Elohim, proveth you, or proves you, to know whether you love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart and with all your soul. Ye shall walk after Yahuwah, your Elohim, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice. And ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. And that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams, shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahuwah your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust you out of the way which Yahuwah your Elohim commanded you to walk in. So shall you put the evil away from the midst of you.
Did anybody catch the test?
basically following the commandments, his word.
It was actually two tests presented.
If someone is looking at and they tell you a dream and it actually comes true, then
That's one.
and the other one tells another dream. The other one tells another dream, and the signs don't come true. He says, "Do not hearken until they voice of you and their ways."
In the first one, it says, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign of a wonder. And the sign of the wonder come to pass, wherefore he has spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other Elohims, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto them. unto the word of that prophet, or that dream of dreams. For Yahuwah your Elohim prove you to know whether ye love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, or your nefesh. One dream or one test is, how do you test who to listen to? Mm-hmm. And the other test is the test that Yah will give you. So this test was very important amongst Israel. Throughout the entire scripture, the learned people that knew Torah knew this. This is Torah. This is Moses. So how would you know that this guy is a prophet? Or how would you know this guy is a dreamer? This is the test that they would use for the rest of the Bible. Now what it's saying is, it's not saying, think about what we do in Israel. What we do in Israel right now is, you have two schools of thought. And I'm just using this for an example. Some people observe the Sabbath night to night. Some observe the Sabbath morning to morning. All right? Two different, I guess you could call teachings, but are they both attempting to observe the Sabbath?
Okay. Yeah.
Right now, if someone that was observing night to night and someone that was observing morning to morning, right now at this hour, would they both be observing Sabbath? Okay? Therefore, they're not walking after other Elohims. So it's not talking about that person. If it's talking about go after this joke over here, it's telling you the Sabbath is on the third day or the fourth day. We know that's not what Torah tells us.
Another thing that I had noticed when he had said he proves you to know whether you love him or test you. So what I was seeing was when he put the dreamer of the dreams and the prophet there, he put them there. So he put them there because it was a test. So that's kind of what I had caught. I'm like, and it came to pass when he prophesied. So that means it was like more sure way, like, okay, hold on, I can really follow this dude or follow what he's saying because it's actually happening what he's trying to say. That's how the Most High tests you, I guess. So
that also will go ahead, if you think about, and I know this firsthand, it's people that remember their experiences from church. And they'll say, I saw demons cast out, and I saw people healed. And y'all ever heard them stories before? That's exactly what it's saying. But are they keeping the commandments or following after Yah? Because Yah done said all the way through the book, hey, you gotta keep my commandments. We'll probably get to it. I don't know if there's a precept in there. But 2 John, it said, how do you know that you know me? Or how do you know that you know him? You keep my commandments. If you don't keep my commandments, you are a liar. The truth is not in you. How is this relevant to Yahusha and Saul? And at any time, if I use a name or a word you don't know what it is, stop and say, I don't know what that is. Because we start speaking Brubonics and we using words and just whole other languages, half English, half Hebrew, and sometimes people be like, what are y'all talking about? So at any time, feel free to stop and say, what does that word mean?
Matthew chapter 22.
Did anybody have any ideas on how is that relevant? That portion we just discussed, how is it relevant?
Well, Hamashiach was tested in Matthew 11 by Hashikama. So,
all right, we got a few precepts. We'll go ahead and read that. We got
All right, Matthew 22, verse 15.
We're going to jump around within Matthew 22 for a while because we're trying to show specific things.
Okay, it says.
hold on.
Okay. You there? Say hallelujah.
We're moving kind of fast. We got a whole bunch of precepts.
So it says, then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that you are true, and teach the way of Elohim in truth. Neither care you for any man, for you regard not the person of men.
So right there, what are the Pharisees doing?
They was like,
At 15 it says, they took counsel how they might entangle him. They really don't want to know the question. What they're doing is they're trying to get him to fail the test. Keep it going.
So it says, tell us therefore, what thinkest you? Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? But Yeshua perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt me, you hypocrites?
All right, that's just him saying, and that is the Herodians. And what we're going to see is different sects, totally different sects are going to do this same thing because they all have the same purpose.
It says the same day came, 23, verse 23. We can go down to verse 23. It says, the same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up his seed unto his brother.
All right, so at that portion, it's the Sadducees now. So we got the Herodians, we got the Sadducees. This is all going down the same line of questioning. Because what they're trying to get them to do is do a particular thing.
Okay, we're going to go down to 34.
said 34.
Yeah, verse 34. And it says, but when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yeshua said unto him, you shall love Yah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. One of these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. We're going to jump down to 46.
Now, if you see, that was the Pharisees. So we had the Herodians, the Sadducees, and the Pharisees, all three sects coming at him.
Okay, 46 it says, and no man was able to answer him a word, neither did any man from that day forth ask him any more questions.
They couldn't do nothing with Mashiach. So from that point on, they was done asking him questions. But the point of the matter, when you think of all the stories in the Bible, when they kept asking him, what say you? What say you? What they was trying to get him to do was say something opposite of Torah that gives you permission to kill him. It was going on over and over again. And a lot of people don't realize in context that they just ask him, they'll come to him and say, Master, why is this? He was just this, he wasn't the chief priest or nobody. He was just a somebody that everybody was following. And they kept asking him, good master, what say you? How do you get to the kingdom? All these type of things, but he wasn't answering. We're going to look at Saul, and it's the same thing.
Acts chapter 21. Starting at verse 18.
Hallelujah.
So it says, and the day following, Paul went in with us unto James, and all the elders were present. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things Elohim had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified Yah, and said unto him, you see, brother, how many thousand of Yehudim there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law. And they were informed of you that you teach all the Yehudim who are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that they ought not to circumcise the children, neither to walk after the customs.
Now, they saying, they telling us that you teaching don't circumcise and don't teach the children the ways of Moses. What is that? If you listen to what happened in Deuteronomy 13, he would be failing the test, right?
Yeah.
Because what's the test? Y'all don't remember the test already?
The text in Deuteronomy 13.
Well, y'all should have had that first part. I'm scared. The first part of the test is that should go right there. The first part of the test is if they trying to get you to walk another way, to follow another Elohim. So if you walking against Moses, are you walking with our Elohim? So that was them identifying. People are saying you fell in this text. But when you go on to read the story, it shows that they said, well, just go ahead and take this Nazarite vow with these people we have. Going down to 30 and 31.
Going down to verse 30. Everybody there? It says, and all the city was moved, and the people ran together. And they took Paul and drew him out of the temple. And forthwith the doors were shut. And as they went about to kill him, tidings came unto the chief captain of the band that all Jerusalem was in uproar.
Now, we put that in there to show they grabbed him because they wanted to kill him. Because what did Deuteronomy 13 say do? When somebody tried to lead you away from your Elohim, kill him. And this is the thing that's going throughout the whole Brit Hadashah or the renewed covenant. They're trying to say they teach you something different, so let's kill them. Let's kill them. That's why they were always trying to kill Shaul. That's why they were always trying to kill the Messiah. Because they were putting that standard against them. But they knew, he kept shutting them down because they knew he was following Torah.
And also too, that is something you can read. When you read through the story, you can see that Paul did keep the commandments. Like, so people try to say Paul taught that we don't have to keep it, but they're trying to lie on Paul, saying he said they ain't gotta keep it. But he like, no, I didn't say that. You know, I didn't never say we ain't gotta keep the commandments.
He said, I taught nothing other than the law of Moses and our fathers.
Same thing with you're saying, like, they try to lie on him is what they do in the church. Lying, still lying on him. Like,
And y'all can also look at that as like how people try to trick us. Like, I don't know if any of y'all ever been through that. Talking to somebody about the way, talking to somebody about this lifestyle, and they trying to find they're plotting to come up to you and say something to you or confront you about something, according to the walk, and trying to trip you up and make it seem like what you doing is a lie, what you doing is fake. I don't know if y'all ever been. I've been through that a lot.
Yeah.
But people will actually be like, hey, call me, hey, turn to this. And I'm like, okay. You turn to it, so read that. What that saying? You just like. And so when you read it, and it's saying literally what they're not trying to say, they just prove themselves wrong. This is the same thing that kept happening with the Messiah and Paul. They kept trying to trip them up, but they couldn't.
Because they were living by Torah.
Mommy.
Yep.
Deuteronomy 13,
6 through 10.
Okay. Deuteronomy 13, 6 through 10.
Everybody here? Go. Deuteronomy 13, verse 6. Hallelujah.
Everybody there? I'm slow. But okay, Deuteronomy 13, starting at verse 6, it says, if your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, or your daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your friend, which is as your own soul, entice you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known, you nor your fathers.
Now, listen what it says. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or thy wife, or thy bosom, it's saying the closest people to you, your brother, your sister, your daughter,
Your friend that's of your own soul. Like that friend that you like. Yeah.
even that, if your own soul tell you this, within yourself, I think say within, as your soul within yourself, tell you this thing. Just to identify who, you know what I mean? Look at, because if I say it like this, your big mama, your pastor, if you think about this, these would be the same people that tell you, no, you ain't got to do what the book say. You love them and they closest thing to you, but it's right there within the test. If the person you lay down with every night, your wife, of your bosom, don't listen to them.
Okay, it says, namely, of the gods of the people which are around about you. It says, nigh unto you, or far off from you, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. You shall not consent unto him. You shall not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall your eye pity him. Neither shall you spare, neither shall you conceal him. But you shall surely kill him.
Say that again.
But you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people, and you shall stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust you away from Yahuwah your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
Think about that. That thing just said, kill Big Mama, kill your brother Ray Ray, stone Pookie, my poor wife gotta go. That's what the scripture said. That is pretty much the test. Go ahead to the next slide. We'll go ahead. I'll elaborate more after we hit the next slide. Do we kill them today?
We kill that relationship.
Don't see nobody on the news talk about that.
Why don't we kill them today?
Stone.
I
Deuteronomy.
kill him because they're trying to go.
Right. When the police got there, Deuteronomy told me to. Deuteronomy 6 and 10 said.
Throw out your ideas. Why don't we kill them today?
Because we in Babylon. We in Babylon time. We what they rule.
Say that one more time.
We not in the land.
Hey, both of y'all spot on.
Hallelujah.
We in Babylon, we not in the land. Go to Deuteronomy 12:1. We're gonna. It says pretext helps find context. Yeah, it's pretext, post text, you get the context. We using pretext in this one. We going a chapter forward and look and see what it's talking about. So we're going to 12:1. And it says, these are the statutes and the judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land, which Yahuwah, your Elohim of thy fathers, give thee to possess it all the days ye live upon the earth. So it's something that's done when we in the land.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because within Torah, we had judges. You read oftentimes it say, stone a man, stone him, stone him, stone him. But when you stone people, you can't just say, Amat did this wrong, we gonna stone him tonight. It don't work that way. Go to Deuteronomy 25. We got within that, going down to verse 31, it says, thou shalt not do so unto Yahuwah thy Elohim every abomination to Yahuwah which he hated. Have I done unto their Elohims, to their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their Elohims or their God, their Els, not Elohim, their Els. So we know, and that kind of shows you it ain't talking about you. Because they burning their kids to their power or their deities. That's nowhere in Torah. So you know Torah is like a way that teaches you that you are following Elohim or not. Because those are his ways. That is his will. Verse 32 says, what things soever I command you, observe to do it thou shalt not add to them thereunto, nor diminish from it. Don't add to, don't take away. So you can't come behind it and add something new. Add the Talmudic doctrine to it and say, hey, this is still holy. Can't do it. Yeah, you can't. They were trying to, and all the time, well, that is true. Yeah, you hear them say they were trying to put a fence around the law, so they would add barriers. Right, till you get to that point and cross it. But if you add barriers, are you adding to it?
All right, Deuteronomy 25, verse 1, it says, if there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked.
So that's telling you, like, remember I was saying, you just can't go do something to somebody. You can't say, the law say this, so I'm going to stone you. Or the law says, what's the next? What does it say, the next verse?
It says, and it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face.
So it's saying, it was punishment for different trespasses. You didn't just get as any old random, let me finish the sentence, just any old random Israelite, you breaking Torah, and I'm going to do this to you because Torah say, no, you have to take them before the judges. That's why it was so important for them to have witnesses in the Brit Hadashah.
Okay.
So when you put all those puzzle pieces together, that's why they kept saying they bear false witness. And they killed Stephen, Yeah. And it says because they bear false witness, they tried, when they first got their hands on Mashiach, they tried to find people to bear false witness against him. And nobody would do it, but they still said they wanted Barabbas. What's your question, Johnny?
What if you were following the Torah and someone were following half of it? Are you still supposed to stone them? And they knew they were supposed to do that?
Well, in this day and age, we're not stoning nobody. We putting them away. We just kind of putting them. They didn't time out. They got to go over there in the corner.
Let them be double.
They don't stand by.
What's the whole law? It says if you keep one part of the law, if you fail in one part of the law, you fail in all the law. So you have to keep the whole law.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble for saying it, but I'm going to say it because I kind of look at our awakening like that. Within our awakening, I said we have camp brews, we have balanced brews, and we have church brews. And the camp brews are way over here to the extreme. The balanced brews are trying to figure this out. And the camp and the church brews are trying to halfway be in Christianity and halfway be in this faith that is walk. And you just can't have
be double minded.
By the church brews, you mean the ones who said we ain't got to keep the law of such communities, but that we know we Israel.
Yeah, we the people. Yes, we are the people of this book. But hey, those curses are upon us. But that was just, I put that in there just so you can see. Now, when we go back to the land, I think the Morays they're gonna bring some lessons on when we go back to the land. But there's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen. The law is not done away with. Some laws we don't do just because we don't have our own land.
Okay.
We are not set up as a nation. We're just a nation of people.
Okay.
Even in the New Testament, you had kind of simple things where the law, a lot of times people get it confused, like the law versus law.
Right.
And it's like when you look it up, it's either talking about the Talmud when they're speaking against the law. So it look like Paul saying don't keep the law. He's saying don't keep the Talmud doctrine, not the Torah.
One of the ways that can help you, and I'm just going to throw this out there real quick. Young's Literal Translation Bible. If you pick up, it's probably on all electronic devices. If you look up Paul's writings in the Young's literary translation, or literal translation, because it's literally trying to be an interlinear of what the manuscripts actually say. It's no the in half of his writings. So he'll say, by law, you do this. But by the law is Yahuwah's law.
Right.
And it's easier for you to parse it or separate it and look at what he's actually saying, because that when they got their hands on the book, it's no the there, they put a the there, and everyone thinks, the law versus the law. No, it's law versus the law. And even within our culture in the day, when we put the in front of something, we trying to tell you something.
Yeah, like it's it. It's the main thing.
And same thing with you hear foolish Galatians who wish you. That is like, no, she didn't. You know what I mean? In our communities, when somebody say, no, he did. No. No, playing like that. Yeah. So we gonna move in. This is our, I'm a parable guy. Parable speaks to me, and when I read this parable, it spoke to me, and I hear people teaching. I was like, man, it speaks to me differently. So we're gonna move on to the parable of the two prophets. We read it a few weeks ago, doing Cast Out. Was it Cast Out or Cast Away?
Go be a castaway.
But we looked at it this way, and I'm gonna show you how it rung in my ears the very first time I read it. It's become my favorite parable in this walk, because I can see this is what Christianity and the church and many people have done, this exact thing.
So, So 1 Kings chapter 13, starting verse 8. Everybody there?
Hallelujah.
What was it again? 1 Kings.
While y'all getting it, the story is a lot larger, but for time's sake, I broke it down to this portion, because the thing he says, he actually tells the king also, but I just narrowed it down, and we're going to get a look at it.
Okay. So it says, verse 8, it says, and the man of Elohim said unto the king, if you will give me half your house, I will not go in with you, neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so was it charged to me by the word of Yah, saying, eat no bread, nor drink water, nor turn again by the same way that you came. So he went another way, and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel. Now there dwelt an old prophet in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of Elohim had done that day in Bethel. The words which he had spoken unto the king, them they told also their father. And their father said unto them, what way went he? For his sons had seen what way the man of Elohim went, which came from Judah. And he said unto his sons, saddle me the donkey. So they saddled him the donkey, and he rode thereon, and went after the man of Elohim, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, are you the man of Elohim that came from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said unto him, come home with me, and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with you, nor go in with you. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water with you in this place. For it was said to me by the word of Yah that you shall eat no bread nor drink water, nor turn again to go by the way that you came. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as you are. And an angel spoke unto me by the word of Yah, saying, bring him back with you into your house, and he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. So he went back with him, and did eat bread in his house, and drank water. And it came to pass, as they sat at the table, that the word of Yah came unto the prophet that brought him back. And he cried unto the man of Elohim that came from Yehudah, saying, thus said Yah, for as much as you have disobeyed the mouth of Yah, and have not kept the commandment which Yah your Elohim commanded you, but came back and has eaten bread and drunk water in this place, of the which Yah did say to you, eat no bread and drink no water, your carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre of your fathers. And it came to pass, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled for him the donkey, to wit, for the prophet whom he had brought back. And when he was gone, a lion met him by the way and slew him, and his carcass was cast in the way. And the donkey stood by, and the lion also stood by the carcass. And behold, men passed by and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass, and they came and told it in the city where the old prophet was.
No, that's fine. Okay. All right, in the story, the prophet says he can't eat in the place, he can't drink water in the place, and he can't go back any way that he done came. He tells this to a number of people. He tell it to the king, the story before it, that he shriveled the king's hand up, he unshriveled the king's. It's an amazing story, go read it. But the point of it is, he said the word of Yah, it was charged him by the word of Yah. Don't eat bread, don't drink water, don't come back the way you came. A prophet comes to him and said, I'm a prophet too. And an angel came by the word of Elohim and said, come. I'm going to say it the right way. He said, come eat bread, come eat water, come drink water, and come back the way you done came with me. Did y'all kind of catch the story? Mm-hmm. While they sitting there eating bread and drinking water, the other prophet started to prophesy to him. He said, oh, I'm speaking for the Most High. And he said, since you did exactly what he told you not to do, you're done. You're finished. He gets up, gets on the donkey, go out, a lion eats him, lion don't eat the donkey. They stand side by side and look at his body. When I first read that, I said, man, this is exactly what's going on in the world. The Most High tells you something. The Most High says, keep my commandments, keep my commandments. Keep all over the book. The book say, keep my commandments. Your grandma say you ain't got to do that no more. You do it in Jesus, baby. Your pastor say you ain't got to do that no more because Jesus fulfilled the law. What did the word of Yah say? Keep the commandments. It's the exact same story. But it was a prophet dealing with a prophet. So what should the prophet have known? If you're a prophet and you know Torah, what's the first lesson we learned today? Deuteronomy 13. If somebody try to tell you opposite of what the word of Yah tell you to do, kill them.
Right.
But you got to put it all together. I was like, I love this story. People don't realize this is going on today.
Yeah.
Right.
I think,
Go ahead.
I feel like you go right back to the Garden of Eden. If you think about it, it's the same situation. Told him not to do this. Somebody else said you can do this. And then what happened?
They did.
Why you all up in my lesson? That's coming.
Oh, my bad.
No, man. I'm happy you on it. You exactly right. You made the parallels, man. Put the puzzle pieces together.
And he said, and he answered, and said unto them, what did Moses command you?
What Moses tell you? Same thing. It's just referencing. What Moses tell y'all? So if you come to Mashiach and ask him a question and he say what Moses say, what is he saying? Go back to the Torah. What the word say? Don't ask me. It's already been there. It's already established. Y'all just don't want to do what the word say.
Okay, Matthew 7. I mean Mark 7. Sorry, Mark 7, verse 10.
Hallelujah. Okay, Mark 7, verse 10. For Moses said, honor your father and your mother, and whoso curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But you say, if a man shall say to his father or mother, it is Corbin, that is to say, a gift. By what's
Yeah, that's is that Mark 17.
Yeah, Mark 17. Yeah, my
I just got to read.
Oh, okay. So the point was for Moses said. That's how the verse started out. For Moses said. Is that red on yours? I'm just trying to. It's all Mashiach. I'm just wondering if y'all had red letter Bibles. We saying what the word say. What did the word say? So when the word was made flesh and was walking around on here, he said either keep the commandments or what did Moses say? And we all know what did Moses say. The commandments. He gave the commandments.
ain't no way around.
How long has this been going on? Yay! Tell them how long it's been going on.
Since the beginning.
What's that first book of the scripture?
Genesis,
Bereshit. It means what? The beginning. It's been going on since the beginning. You there?
Yeah,
Genesis 2:16. We're going to hit 2, 16 and 17. Then we're going to jump over to 3, 2 through 4.
Okay. So, everybody there?
And before you start, remember, I'm trying to show y'all, if you remember, we started off with the two prophets. Prophet, the Most High, or the word of Yah tell the prophet something. He let somebody come behind him, directly behind him, and tell him, you can do exactly what I told you not to do. Now we're trying to kind of make a map or a puzzle of how this has been going on forever. So we're going back to the beginning to see how they correlate with each other, or how they parallel.
Okay, Genesis chapters 2, verse 16, 17. It says, and Yah commanded the man, saying, every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it, for in the day that you eat thereof you shall surely die. chapter
He
3.
just told them. What did he just tell them? Y'all not participating. Y'all gonna tell
Don't
me
eat
what
of
he
the
said.
tree,
Don't eat of the tree. Right?
or you gonna die.
Yah himself told them that. That's just like Journey when he said, if your parents tell you don't do this, what's going to be your response? I can't do it because my parents told me not to do it. Let's see what mankind does.
Genesis chapter 3, starting in verse 2. It says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the tree, of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim have said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.
So he said, don't eat it, don't touch it. I didn't even put the outcome in it, parable-wise or precept-wise, because we know the outcome. What they do? They touch it and ate it. Yeah, you're right. They did both. Most High Yah told them don't do something. What happened?
Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. For Elohim doth know that in the day you eat thereof, when your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
So, just like Yah told a man, don't eat bread, don't drink water, don't go back the way you came. The prophet said, hey, come back with me the way you came and do exactly what Yah tell you not to do. He came right behind Yah, or the word of Yah, and told him something different. It's on the next page. If you flip your page, you go from 2 to 3. The serpent is saying, you ain't gonna die if you eat that. And mankind, listen, mankind let someone come behind Yah.
Yep.
We have to learn how to pass this test. That's why this whole lesson is like this. To get us to learn, we got to pass. We've been failing this test since the beginning.
We go to Mark
So we see
chapter
in
4.
Yeah, Mark 4:14, we see the two prophets. Now we see Adam and Eve. It's been going since the beginning. Let's see what Mashiach says. I hope we gotta, in my mind, just put little puzzles together, so I call them puzzle pieces when they keep these little things handy to help us pass the test.
Mark chapter 4, verse 14. And it says, the sower soweth the word.
Apple? What's the name?
And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan comes immediately and takes away the word that was sown in their heart.
Y'all remember that parable, the sower and the sower and the seeds? It literally, that's Mashiach saying, the sower is the word. The sower sowed the seed, and immediately, right behind them, Satan comes. Is that not what happened with the prophets? Is that not what happened with Adam and Eve?
Okay, he did. Yep.
And so when he's giving that prayer, he noticed because he is what? The word. And in Bereshit, or in the was the what? So he noticed it's been going on. We the only ones that don't know it. And he been trying to tell us.
And just like it says right here, it says the word is sown, whereby they have heard, and Satan come and immediately take away the word that was sown in their heart. So it's supposed to be sown in your heart. A lot of times we rely on, like I said, notes, and PowerPoints, and videos and stuff for the word of Yah, but it got to be in us, you know. That way when these times come, immediately you can't fumble through a book when you're going through something, you know, all the time. It got to come, you know.
And how Satan come and use your people. Ain't that what they said in Torah? They said your mother, your brother, your sister, because he's going to use somebody close to you. He ain't going to use nobody far off. that you don't know. Because why? You gonna easily reject that. You don't know, you move on somewhere. But he gonna use somebody that's right next to you.
Right.
So
That's good.
I can't remember what. I know it happened in Job, and I know it happened in I think First Kings, where basically I know one time Satan went before Yahuwah was like, let me be a spirit of falsehood amongst them.
oh yeah.
You know, and then he was like, okay. So he went and did it in the spirit of falsehood, and then with Job, he was like, the only reason he worshipped you is because you give him all these things. But let me take these things from him. He said, do whatever you do, just don't kill him. He took that man's wife, he took that man's kid and everything that, you know what I'm saying? But Job knew the word, and he knew what he was about, so he just continued to say, but I'm going to listen to the word.
Yeah. But his kids died. I think it said he praised them. He praised them.
Yeah, he did.
Because when you know, when it's in you, it's in you. You got to continue to try to, like these little lessons here, get them in you. Because I'm telling you, my grandmother is 91, 92 next month. I love her to death. No, I'm keeping Torah. I can't do it in Jesus. I can't. I'm walking this book out. I'm walking the word out. Let's look in Galatians 1, 6 through 9. This is after Mashiach died. So we started off in Kings in the history. We went back to the beginning. We looked at what Mashiach was saying when he was here. After Mashiach was gone, let's see what Shaul was dealing with.
Okay. Galatians chapter 1, verse 6. It says, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Mashiach unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Mashiach. But through we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than this preach any other gospel unto you than that which we preach unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, I say now again, if any man preach another gospel unto you than that you have received, let him be accursed.
Did y'all hear that man saying?
Yeah.
If an angel from heaven bring y'all a different gospel, hey, he got to put him away. See, it's a curse.
It actually happened too. Time. Yeah, it actually happened. So.
Yeah, 11 to 12. This has been going on over and over again.
Okay. Verse 11. But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man. For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach.
Who is Yeshua HaMashiach?
The word.
The Word. He was taught it by the Word. He said, I ain't even get this gospel from nobody. I got it from the Word. Follow the Word. Follow the Word and follow people that follow the Word.
Yeah.
If they not following the Word, don't kill them literally, but hey, mentally you can put them over there in timeout. Don't play with them. Because if we were in the land, what would happen to them?
They'll die.
You got witnesses saying this is what they doing. They trying to get you to go after other Elohim, a different commander. Kill them. Oh, fuck his head. Back to Deuteronomy 13 and 10. Because I think this is key. I think these are the answers to the test. And this need to be in you. Go ahead.
Isn't there a scripture saying that basically when everything started going down, and started coming upon the earth, and it as if somebody tells you going to the Messiah is over here. Don't listen to him. So
Ah.
now this is another people being raised up. It's going to be another test that already says it's going to be fulfilled.
You're right, and that's why it is so vital. You know what I mean? And I only had the last part of this. I had nothing about Deuteronomy 13 in the whole lesson. Yeah, you heard Deuteronomy. I didn't have any of that in there, and the Most High kept dealing with me like I thought I was doing Wednesday, and then I was up last night like finding precepts because it was like you need to know where the text came from. The text came from Torah. This is the text. We need to apply this to the people that we listen to, and then we got another test for the people we listen to, and then the test for ourselves. One test is for you to administer, one test is for you to take. And success, actually, after we finish the lesson, hopefully everybody in this room will successfully pass that test. Go ahead and start out with 13, 6 through 10.
So Deuteronomy 13, chapter 13, verse 6. And the land was not able to bear them. I'm in Genesis.
Yeah, I know where you was at. When you said the land couldn't bear them,
Okay.
who was that, Lot and Abraham?
Yep.
All right.
All right, Deuteronomy 13, verse 6. I got it.
Go ahead, David.
All right. So Deuteronomy chapter 13. Verse 6. It says, if your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, or your daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your friend, which is as your own soul, entice you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other Elohims, which you have not known, you nor your fathers, namely of the Elohims of the people which are found round about you, near unto you, or far off from you, from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. You shall not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him. Neither shall your eye pity him, neither shall you spare him, neither shall you conceal him. But you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people. And you shall stone him with stones, that he die, because he hath sought to thrust you away from Yah your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
The people you know most, the people you closest to, the people you trust, you can't listen to them. You have to listen to the word. That is the answer to that test. You have to listen to the word. It says from deities from off. We know those other religions, you know what I mean, that our people start to practice. And it's like, what are you talking about? You going to do yoga and meditate? For real? No. The people that is your test to apply to the people that you listen to. You know Yah is going to test you. It says Yah is going to test you.
Didn't somebody say before it's such things as a good beach?
You said again.
Yeah, it was a teacher said one time it's a such thing as a good beach. Like good beach. I mean,
Somebody told me that before too. I was like,
Go through the book and see where you see a good witch.
right.
Yeah.
What does the word say? Will continue to be my
No.
question. Sorcery, it's not good in script anywhere. But even within this test, the Most High is using prophets to trip you up. Your people, those that you put on a pedestal, to trip you up. So I need y'all to pass this test for me, all right? So in conclusion, go ahead.
So meditating is.
We didn't say meditating. I said
Okay.
yoga.
Okay.
Because the Bible specifically tells you to meditate on the word.
Yeah.
it's a certain type of meditation.
Yeah.
Right.
You actually get into it.
the yoga meditation that we see now, they're encouraged on the practices, and they have their own gods and all that. That somehow became open to everybody.
Yeah, but if you want to stretch and
They,
you know,
certain
pulling out the mat, because I do that.
Yeah, like each position is for like a different.
We look into
Yeah.
Well, and the key things that you'll learn is that
like it's like spiritual intimacy with that deity. You open yourself up and you're doing certain stretches and you lighting, certain incense or like having certain music on. What you're doing is pretty much putting yourself putting your mind in a certain state to be submissive to the deity. So when you do these stretch poses, while performing this type of act, you pretty much having, you fornicating with the deity.
Yep.
Well, and just like there's different forms of worshiping, there's different forms of meditating, and it's all kind of who you're dedicating it to.
Exactly.
Because even when Mashiach said, basically, I'm just paraphrasing, don't keep repeating yourself. If you look up that word that he was saying, like when in your prayers, don't keep repeating yourself. It's basically talking about how, like, basically people will try to channel the spirit, so they keep on calling their name, keep on calling their name over and over and over and over. He was basically saying, like, don't fall into that practice. That's another form of meditation as well.
Okay, so a while back we had looked up the definition of that in the Hebrew, and it'll give you the context of what the Most High means meditate. Meaning like it can be through music, Yah music, but with the praise, and reading His Word and stuff, because He tells you to meditate on His Word, damn right. So that's
sorry. The key thing is like with the meditation, like with yoga and like of the world and stuff like that, is you're emptying out your brain, like your mind and your thoughts, in order for those type of things to happen. Which is why you utter, those type of. Yeah, exactly. But when we meditate on the word, where it's like you're filling yourself with seeds, you're planting, the word in your mind, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's going to bear fruit. Whereas meditation, as we know it in the world, it's emptying your mind so that
something else can come in.
Exactly.
Can I use an example that I know you want to keep going? So basically, how we're talking now, this is a meditation. Let's say the adversary come, Hashatan come and be like, oh, you ain't nothing, you blah, 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 all this different stuff, okay? If you continue to meditate upon that, you continue to think upon that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, so the word I think is in Hebrew is a hagat for meditate. And basically it talks about to ponder. So let's say you hearing in your mind something telling you that you nothing, you'll never be this, whatever it may be, these negative energies are coming. Well, meditate upon the word. What did the word say? The word says he got a plan for us. The word says I'm seed of Jacob. The word says that, that we, his redemption, his salvation. So what is this spirit? Wait a minute, let me ponder, let me meditate upon the word to go back and say, okay, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's only going to let you distinguish between the other voices.
Exactly. Hallelujah.
Like you said, getting put to the test. That's one way you're going to test.
Yeah.
All that being said, Torah is our culture, and we've gotten away from our culture. Do no one else's culture, because our culture is based on the word of Yah. If you stick to your culture, and we continue to learn it, I'm telling you, nobody got this thing all figured out. Yeah. But I'm not going to Native American culture. I'm not going to the Hindu culture. I'm not going to any. I found this, and through prophecy, I realized I fit right off in that culture. Everything I thought I didn't have, language, Elohim, or power, I found it in this culture. I don't need nothing else but Yah. His word is sufficient for me.
Hallelujah.
It was like probably last Shabbat shop. You said you take away people's language.
Yeah, you take away their language, you take away their culture.
You take away their culture. They don't have a language. They don't have a name. They don't have a power, Elohim. What do they have?
They don't even have personality.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to chase after other people's cultures, and you know what other people have? They have their own Elohim. So what you're doing is, that's why I said, especially the people that's around about you. Yep. Because they got their own culture, their own Elohim. We got the only one true Elohim. So why we want to do anything that they got going?
Right.
I'm not rolling out a yoga mat. You can forget it.
That's why.
Absolutely not.
That's also why last week when we went over names and stuff, you see that Daniel got his name changed to Belshazzar. That was giving reverence to their deity. Those names mean something as well. The names they got changed to, those mean like giving reverence to Baal, the Babylonian deity. So,
In conclusion, the way to pass the test is put the word of Yah over everyone. No one can come behind Yah. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your sister, not your brother, not your big mama, not Paul, Shaul. If you let someone tell you, well, Paul said the law is done away with, you are in fact letting Shaul come behind Yah. Nobody can come behind Yah. Nobody. If it's in his word, it's in his word. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Pray us out.